Hi, this is Victoria.
Hi, this is Savannah.
And this is Lauren Lund.
And this is our Core 3 project.
As Ryan and Becky are sitting into bed after a late night out, they glance at their calendar and they're startled and astonished to find that they have overlooked a chemistry test scheduled tomorrow. As the amygdala of Ryan and Becky assesses the initial fear and distress, two chains of responses are created. One chain flows into the sympathetic nervous system, followed by a release of hormones by the adrenal glands, which increase both students' heart rates and blood pressure, causing them to sweat and breathe faster. A second chain from the amygdala is sent to the prefrontal cortex, where the significance of the initial stressor information from the amygdala is evaluated and aids in the complex decision-making that now has to be made.
Our successful avatar, Ryan, decided to take a challenge approach orientation to deal with the situation. Ryan used conscious control of the cortex to inhibit the initial habitual reaction to the stress stimulus and reasoned out an effortless way to approach preparing for the exam. Ryan reappraised his increased heart rate and trembling as a burst of energy and transformed his emotions from fear to determination to effectively utilize his time to receive the best outcome on his test. Ryan utilized the physical energy and emotion reappraisal to compose a strategy. First, he would organize his class materials. Secondly, he would spend 2 hours before going to bed studying in allocated space time slots. Third, he would get a full night's sleep, followed by another day of space studying. Successful Ryan ended up doing fairly well in the exam. Ryan's score was lower than what he usually receives and what he originally wanted for the exam, but he was determined to do any extra credit possible to raise his grade. Ryan felt content knowing he was being responsible for himself and found the best approach to a successful and trying situation. This was positive reinforcement for Ryan to be more responsible and become more successful in coping with stress in the future.
Our unsuccessful avatar, Becky, her amygdala sends the emotion of fear and stress to her prefrontal cortex for appraisal, and she interprets the stimuli as a threat. Becky, because she perceives this test she didn't prepare for as a threat, becomes increasingly terrified of failing her chemistry test and starts to hyperventilate. She curls up in her bed as she tries to breathe, sweating and dazed, wondering how disappointed her parents will be. She is coping with this new information maladaptively, accepting her defeat and having a panic attack from the fear of failure. After her panic attack recedes, she decides to email her professor that she's sick and will not be in class for the test. She gets away with her avoidant behavior and ends up passing the test later. Becky views this as a positive reinforcement and continues to react in similar ways towards tests and does not prepare properly for them. Becky became better at making excuses and less capable of handling life's stressors in an adaptive way, eventually leading to her professional deterioration.